Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You're listening to Daily C1 English Vocabulary. My name is Emma.
And my name is Tom. Today we're looking at 11 useful words and expressions connected with success, failure, and what happens when we stop paying attention.
Success can make us more confident, but it can also make us less careful. We start assuming that what worked yesterday will keep working tomorrow. We miss warning signs or stop putting in the same effort. And sometimes we need a wake-up call to realize that something needs to change. A wake-up call is an event that makes you recognize a problem and understand that you need to take action.
For example, losing one of our biggest clients was a wake-up call for the company. The doctor's warning came as a wake-up call, and the patient finally started taking his health seriously.
A wake-up call doesn't have to be a disaster. It can simply be a warning that things are heading in the wrong direction.
Imagine your sales have been falling for 3 months. The business is still doing reasonably well, but the trend is worrying. That drop in sales might be the wake-up call that makes management change its strategy before the situation gets worse.
Sometimes a wake-up call comes after we've squandered something valuable. To squander something means to waste something valuable through poor decisions or careless behavior. We usually use it with things like money, time, opportunities, talent, or advantages.
The company squandered millions on a project that was poorly planned. Don't squander this opportunity. You may not get another one. He inherited a successful business, but squandered much of its profits on bad investments.
Squander is stronger than simply waste. If you spend 10 minutes scrolling through your phone, you'd normally just say waste.
But if someone wastes a major opportunity, a large amount of money, or years of their life, squander often sounds more natural because it emphasizes that something genuinely valuable was lost. There's always a hint of disappointment in it.
And sometimes people squander an advantage because they fail to notice what is happening around them. And that brings us to our next word, overlook. To overlook something means to fail to notice it, consider it, or give it enough attention.
For example, in our rush to launch the app, we overlooked a major security flaw. Don't overlook the small details. They can make a big difference. The manager overlooked the new employee at first because he had very little experience. There's a difference between overlook and ignore. If you ignore something, you usually choose not to pay attention to it. If you overlook something, you may simply fail to notice it.
People often start overlooking problems when they become complacent. Complacent means too satisfied with your current situation and too confident that things will continue to go well, so you stop making enough effort or paying attention to possible problems.
Our sales were booming, so we got complacent and stopped innovating. That was a huge mistake. He had grown complacent in his role and was no longer challenging himself. Don't get complacent just because things are going well right now. You'll often hear become complacent, grow complacent, or get complacent. And complacent isn't the same as confident. Confidence is usually positive. You believe you're capable of handling something. Complacency is different. You feel so secure that you stop noticing risks.
And a related expression is to rest on your laurels. To rest on your laurels means to rely too much on past success and stop making the effort to improve or achieve more.
Just because we won the contract this year doesn't mean we can rest on our laurels for the next one. Great athletes never rest on their laurels. They keep training and looking for ways to improve. The company dominated the market for years but rested on its laurels while competitors developed better products.
The expression comes from the laurel wreaths that were traditionally given to winners and important people.
So the image is someone looking at their old achievements and thinking, I've already proved myself. I don't need to do anything else.
And if you rest on your laurels for too long, you may eventually start to lose ground. To lose ground means to become less successful or less competitive compared with others.
The company has been losing ground to its competitors for several years. The team started strong but began losing ground in the second half. Traditional newspapers are losing ground to digital media. The brand began to lose ground as cheaper alternatives became available. The basic idea is that someone else is moving ahead while you're falling behind.
And while one company is losing ground, another may be thriving. To thrive means to grow, develop, or succeed very well.
Children thrive when they feel safe and supported. The business thrived after moving to a new location. While many small stores closed down, her online business managed to thrive.
We can use thrive for people, companies, plants, communities, or anything that is doing particularly well in the right conditions.
Thrive is stronger than simply do well. If someone is thriving, they're not just managing, they're developing, succeeding, and often becoming noticeably stronger.
But progress isn't always smooth. Even successful people and businesses can stumble. Literally, to stumble means to lose your balance while walking, usually because you hit something or place your foot badly.
He stumbled over a rock and nearly fell.
But we also use it figuratively when someone or something has difficulties or makes mistakes.
The project stumbled in the early stages because no one was clear about the priorities. She stumbled over a few questions during the interview but recovered quickly. He was so nervous that he kept stumbling over his words.
A stumble doesn't necessarily mean complete failure. It can simply be a temporary problem or setback. The real danger is how you react to that setback. Sometimes people panic and make reckless decisions. Reckless means careless about danger or the possible consequences of your actions.
She made a reckless financial decision and lost everything. It would be reckless to invest all your savings in such a risky venture. His reckless driving put everyone in danger. A reckless decision isn't simply risky. It suggests that the person isn't giving enough thought to what could go wrong.
And when those consequences finally become clear, the experience can be sobering. Sobering describes something that makes you realize how serious a situation really is and brings you back to reality.
The sudden drop in demand was a sobering reminder that success can be temporary. The report contains some sobering statistics about unemployment. It was sobering to discover how little progress we had actually made.
The word comes from the idea of becoming sober after drinking, suddenly clear-headed and serious.
Sobering doesn't necessarily mean shocking or devastating. It often describes a quieter moment when you suddenly see the situation more clearly and more seriously.
And sometimes one mistake or weakness turns out to be someone's undoing. Someone's undoing is the thing that eventually causes them to fail, lose their position, or get into serious trouble.
His refusal to listen to advice eventually proved to be his undoing. Overconfidence before the final exam was her undoing. The company's rapid expansion became its undoing when costs started spiraling out of control.
So someone's undoing is usually not just a small mistake. It's the weakness, decision, or problem that ultimately leads to their downfall.
Now let's put all these words together. A successful manager may become complacent. He starts resting on his laurels. He overlooks younger competitors and squanders opportunities to improve. At first, nothing terrible happens, but gradually, he loses ground. Then a rival takes one of his biggest clients. That loss comes as a wake-up call, and it's sobering to realize how much the situation has changed. In the end, his complacency may prove to be his undoing.
And that's all for today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time.